are here once again now to talk to you in these last programs we're going to have for the year. This program now and the next two programs that will be the end of the year. So we want to treat about something very special, these special programs until the end, because many people, Kevin Dallison, they preparing themselves when they reach half of December already, like we are now, 17th, next week 24th, and then the following Saturday 31st. So they are preparing themselves for next year full of expectations. No, next year will be better. Next year, and then all these nights, they all happen New Year, this and that. But what will bring the guarantee that the next year will be better if they are ending this year now in a bad condition?
Yeah, very much indeed. Three very much exciting, I should say, busy weekends approaching. But you should remember that 2015, you were in the same predicament, the same situation, and you had plans for 2016. But the thing is, did you fulfill it?
Yes. They are waiting for the jingle bell, and then...
Definitely. And the thing about New Year's resolutions, because that's what they call it, New Year resolutions. If you made 10 New Year's resolutions, how much did you really fulfill?
The truth is, losses or gain, which one you had the most this year, 2016? Think about it. The Where You're Going program starts now.
Hey. What you doing here? Don't you have practice?
Not anymore, I quit.
Oh. Well, since when are you the quitting kind?
I don't know, I just don't see the point anymore.
So you didn't make the dress list. There are greater tragedies in the world.
I wanted to run out of that tunnel for my dad. To prove to everyone that I worked...
Prove what?
That I was somebody.
Oh, you are so full of crap. You're 5 feet nothing, 100 and nothing, and you got hardly a speck of athletic ability. And you hung in with the best college football team in the land for 2 years. And you're also going to walk out of here with a degree from the University of Notre Dame. In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen. Now go on back.
Sorry I never got you to see your first game in here.
Hell, I've seen too many games in this stadium.
I thought you said you never saw a game.
I've never seen a game from the stands.
You were a player?
I rode the bench for 2 years. Thought I wasn't being played because of my color. I got filled up with a lot of attitude. So I quit. Still not a week goes by, I don't regret it. And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you. You hear me clear enough?
Well, everybody along the year, I believe, didn't have only losses, but have gains. But of course, nobody wants to lose anything. But the question is, why many people, especially youths, they had plenty of losses? When I say losses, it's not only losing in the correct, term of the word, literally. No, I say like bad experiences. No, you had, majority of youths had plenty losses, I would say. And why? Why many people have more losses than gain throughout the year?
Of course, because we have been discussing it, of course, it's distractions. And if it is that you had an idea in 2015, and you say to yourself, all right, when the New Year's come, New Year's Day, I'm going to kick down the door, I'm going to, make an impact, I'm going to do something different in my life, I'm going to change whatever negative things I used to do to include the positive. But you had a project, you had some sort of, goal to achieve. And for some reason, along the way, something took place in your life. Let's say a loss of a family member, something that caused you to not continue in that same belief that you had in 2015. And because of that, you begin to, allow yourself to think otherwise than the positive, which is negative. And you got distracted, and for some reason, you did not fulfill that plan or plans up till this day, as we speak to you right now?
Do you remember the plans you have in that December 31st last year? When you hung up, oh,
Yeah.
Happy New Year, hey, whatever, this year I'm gonna do this year I'm gonna do that, this year I'm gonna go on a diet, this year I gotta lose weight. Maybe they lost many things, but didn't lose weight.
Correct.
But, so why these things happen? This is what we are talking about here. Because we don't want you to go through the same thing in 2017 because you are deceiving yourself. Why many people make promise to themselves and they are not able to fulfill it?
You know, and the other questions, particularly, I want to address this to the youths. This year, a lot of youths opened 2016 with the promise to themselves, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be more obedient.
I'm going to focus on my studies.
I'm going to focus on my studies. How many of them didn't even make it to 2017?
And will not make it there.
And will not make it to 2017. I know quite a few who have not made it as far as today. Saturday. Quite a few who started off the new year saying, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm
full of plans.
They're full of plans, full of things that they are going to do. We're in December, and a lot of them did not make it. Are you going to make it to 2017?
And when we say that, it's not for you to be scared. Oh, these people have good mouth or something. So
Correct.
no, we are saying reality. But when it's something that happened, that you have nothing to do with this, it was an accident, something happened to you, and as she say, somebody, they could not make it because they lost their lives because something happened. When it's an accident, something that you have nothing to do with that, a person had nothing to do with that, is something. But a victim of violence, as we saw these days, many people that they were killed, violence, crime, is something different. But we speak about the youths that they provoke the loss they had.
That is correct.
Some of them lost their lives because they provoke it. They got involved with wrong people, they were involved with gangs, they were involved with drugs, drug dealers, and today, that youth that had a lot of plans in the old year's night last year, oh, this year I'm gonna do this, today, unfortunately, not gonna be able to make it for next year.
Yeah, because probably you ladies that are watching, I'm not really targeting lady, but it's just an example. You said on 2015 that you're going to be obedient, as you just said, but you got yourself in a wrong relationship.
Yes.
You went behind your parents' back, you engaged yourself in sex, and for some reason you end up pregnant.
And maybe she said this year should focus on the studies, but the year going to finish with a baby in the arm.
Time wasted. Time wasted because now you have to prolong towards 2017. What you could have accomplished in 2016, you have to wait till 2017 because that baby you have to wait, of course, till you're born, and then, of course.
You may not even be waiting until 2017. You might be waiting until 2025 because that child has to be taken care of.
Yes,
provided
boy.
for financially, emotionally, physically. You may not be ready for that, but that child is coming. That child is on his way.
This is a big loss.
This is
Not a child itself, but the opportunities you're going to lose because of this mistake, the time you have wasted, things that you're going to prevent yourself of doing
From doing
because of this mistake.
Yeah, because remember, you, all right, let's for instance, if the child father does not stay for the child, he decides to bust out. You had to find on your own. You had to work, double time, overtime, and you have no time for classes. You have no time to even see about your future. All you have to do is to work, get an income, take care of your child until they reach a certain age, and then.
And mind you, you're going to be working triple hard because you're unqualified. So you're going to be working minimum wage for sure.
So what we want to do is to make you to be conscious, because maybe throughout this year you were led by emotions, were led by excitement, and you didn't see that all things that you got involved with was just distractions that led you to go astray of what was really important, and you knew it was important because you promised in that night when you said Happy New Year to your friends. From there, Maybe you start to break the promise to yourself because you promised that you would not drink so much this year, and in that very same night you got drunk.
Right into the early morning.
Yeah.
Yes, in Christmas you say,
Yeah.
in Christmas last year you said, no, next year I will stop smoking,
Yeah.
I will stop using drugs, I will no longer drink, boy, I have to put myself in the right way, I have to get a nice job and build a family, whatever. In the oldest night, there were you,
Exactly.
breaking the promise you have made to yourself.
That's how you're entering the new
Yes.
year. Drunk.
And how many people, they get into trouble already in the first day of the year because of this situation? We are going to speak more about it in this series of these 3 programs we're going to have. This one, the one in Christmas, and the next one in the last day of the year. That's going to be on Saturday. So I want you to watch the story of this youth that used to get into trouble. Although maybe he or she promised that would change. But, so when he came in the youth group, he was able to put his head in place. And today the life is different. And this is what we want to happen with you. So what is the story? We're going to be back right after.
I was the youngest out of the 6. I saw myself as no one in the family. Most of the times, I would be living with my grandparents because my mom and dad would argue over small things. They would argue over money. They would argue over bills, food. There was a time where, if I'm not mistaken, I was taken to my grandma's house because we didn't have food at my house. My parents would fight a lot. They would say, they would curse each other. And though they were financially good with their money, but they used their money in other stuff. However, this affected me really badly. My childhood was a mess. I started hanging around with the wrong peers, and it went very bad to a point where the social workers and also the police were included. But to be honest, the reason why I did these kind of stuff because of the problem that I had at home, and it affected me even to when I reached high school. My mom and dad would argue even till that day, still argue about money. I see my dad abusing my mom. I would see him verbal abuse my mom. I would see him going with different ladies. And it also came to a point where I wanted to kill my dad. I had grudges against my dad and also to all my families. I thought to myself that I wasn't important. To myself, I thought I was just the youngest. I'm not important in the family. I am not part of the family. I was very insecure. I didn't know how my family, I didn't know who I was. My mom started coming to the UCKG, and she also invited me for 2 weeks, and I didn't want to come, but she kept on insisting. So I took the opportunity and I came with her to the UCKG. Then I was invited by one of the YPG members who invited me to join the youth group. I started seeing changes from the very first day that I came. I heard a man of God speaking about life as a youth and how problems hit us really badly as we grow. I started listening to the Word of God in the YPG services, and I took it upon myself. I started inviting also others. And as I was attending the YPG services, I saw a change in myself. I saw that I am someone. It came to a point where life made sense to me now. I started joining the youth group. I went evangelizing with the youth group. I started joining in whatever task that they were given. And this helped me a lot physically and mentally. When I started to grow stronger in God, I saw a difference in myself. I didn't have any more, I wasn't addicted anymore. I didn't have any more thoughts of asking myself, why am I still alive? I didn't have any grudges to my father, also to my family. And now I saw a change, a progress in my family. And it's not perfect, but it is getting there. I started seeing my family members coming together, and I started seeing myself more as someone. I didn't believe in myself. Today I am happy. I love myself, and I can say that I am someone. I don't have any grudges at all. I don't have any addiction at all. And I hang around with those who makes me closer to God. And I'm also unique. That is why I am a YPG.
So we come back with you. As I was saying in the beginning of the program, everybody have losses and gain. But the problem is that there are some losses that we have, that we provoke, and unfortunately, we cannot reverse. And that's why we are here to introduce you to the YPG, so that in the YPG you're going to learn how to prevent these losses that you cannot reverse. Like you said, that many youths there used to fight to bring them in the youth group, and unfortunately, they lost their lives.
They lost their lives. I have a lot of youths that I invited. Some of you know me very, very well. A lot of youths. And I've had to go to 4 or 5 funerals.
Serious?
Of youths, yes, that I invited. Oh, come to the YPG. We have fun. I will see. Oh, I'll try. I feel I'll pass through. But you know what? Unfortunately, it's too late for them. They are no longer with us. Oh, today I had a funeral to attend. And I cannot because I'm here. So, losses. I believe that we've made a lot more losses than gains for 2016, especially where you young persons are concerned. Don't believe me, Google it. Look at the statistics in Trinidad of the people who have died between 14 and 13. And young people, most of the murders. Most of the people who did not make it to 2017, whether it's an accident, a vehicle accident, a domestic case like the 14-year-old that died. But bottom line is, it's young people. When you have something constructive that you can come to the YPG.
Losses or gain, which one had the most? I challenge you to write in a piece of paper the losses that you had throughout this year. You are going to bring this paper along with you. Write the losses, the bad experiences you went through. Doesn't matter if you provoke it or not. This coming Sunday, tomorrow, 1 p.m., we are going to be here at number 2 Broad upstairs, Mariah Julius. 1 p.m., we're going to have a talent show. In the youth group meeting, going to be different. We're going to have a talent show. We are going to have a videos showing the retrospective of this year in the youth power group that we had a lot of gain. Yeah. How we had a lot of gain. And we are going to help you that to bring this list, how you can prevent the same mistakes, the same bad experience to happen in 2017.
All right, so we're going to conclude now this program. Of course, I want you to think of this very clearly. Today is the 17th. The question I'm asking you, would you survive to see next year the 17th of December? It's a question you need to reflect on. Because if it is that you continue to play and play and play, we invite you every week to come to the youth group to see the negative turn into a positive, feeling within you. But you ignore. I give you this opportunity once more again to join us. And you can like our page, YPG Trinidad and Tobago, on Facebook. Or you can
add our supporters, Trinbago Youths.
Yeah.
You can send a WhatsApp message.
Yeah, the numbers there, you can see, you can call, WhatsApp, SMS, or you can even view our programs that you have missed probably during the year, YPG Trinidad and Tobago on YouTube.
Losses or gain, which one you want the most? The YPG will always be here, available to help you. Next week, we're going to keep on talking about this. But don't forget, before you do anything in your life, think about where you're going.
Email us at ypgyouths@hotmail.com. And you can find us on Facebook, YPG Youths. Also watch us on YouTube, Trinidad and Tobago. And listen to 91.9 FM The Street.